everybody, welcome back to Sprouts Tarot. So today's reading is some advice on what you should do now. So maybe it's an area that you've overlooked or something that you plan on doing but haven't actually got around to doing it. So this is just like the universe's message to get you to appreciate more of the things that you should look out for or pay attention to in life. So I've got three selections here. So you would have seen these three on the thumbnail, and I've also got the underlying energies as well. So the cards you can see here, but just go by your intuition, these three main cards, and choose the one that speaks most to you. And I will see you over the other side. And as always, timestamps are written in the comment section, so please click there and go to your selected group. Later. Welcome back, group one. So if you chose these two cards, congratulations. These cards tell me that you are now experiencing the season of abundance, basically. The wheat is the staff of life, commonly known as, and so it tells me that you have come into material gains, basically. I mean, you can sustain your lifestyle. It gives you nourishment. So my guess is things are going well in the ka-ching, ka-ching front, and happy. Do I need to explain this one? No, because she's basically standing on top of her world. There's the keyhole in which she has unlocked. So the sense of happiness she has been able to find within herself. And also the balloons, I mean, they're very happy, vibrant colors, leading her towards something even greater. And her little animal friends, the birds, are all following her. So birds have a traditional meaning of being messengers, like heaven's little messengers, little angels. So it seems as though there is spiritual fulfillment in your life on top of material abundance. The underlying message here is to acknowledge your accomplishments and basically break out the champers if you drink. If you don't, celebrate with a mocktail or something, because you deserve it. It seems as though you've worked hard and now you've basically reached a particular important milestone, and it's time to actually say thank you, and it's time to also enjoy the fruit of your labor. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we are going to take the tarot and ask what is coming up next in your life. Okay, so now that you have reached this level of abundance, what can you look forward to? What is the next step or next chapter of your journey? This should be a very simple, smooth reading, by the way, today. So maybe this energy is so positive. Okay, so first of all, can I get a significator for group one? Just to see where they are going next. What's the significator for group one? Okay. Are we going to get a flyer? Because I'm using this Solar Kingdom deck, because Solar Kingdom, it just works well. Positive energies all around. Okay. Please, can I get a significator for group one, please? Okay, significator for group one. Oh, it seems as though you've been working very long on this project, and maybe now you are going to take quite a bit of a break. Okay, so this, okay, before I say anything, let me see what pile. Eight of Swords, sorry. Eight of Swords. I mean, basically you've unleashed yourself already, so whatever problems that you've had before, that is already unbound. But let's see in what area of your life this is in. Okay. Eight of Swords. Let's see. Eight of Swords. Eight of Swords. Just as I told you, I don't like to usually do reversals. I think I did because this deck does have reversals, and so I want to turn some the correct way. I always make a fool of myself as soon as I announce something. It always comes out the opposite. Okay, 8 of Swords. Let's see. 8 of Swords. All right, maybe in family then. 8 of Swords. Yep, 8 of Swords. Okay, so generally speaking, it is a family issue that has been unlocked, or after you celebrate this, the family issue, most likely family, second career issue is going to be unlocked. Whatever problem that you have there is already unlocked, or the next step is to unlock that. So there is a resolution coming up. Let me look at this card carefully. Okay, so upright looks like this. So as you can see right now, she's like blindfolded, right? With her hands all wrapped around this rope. It seems as though the solution is obvious, but she just can't get access to it. So in reverse means you can get access to this solution. Okay, let's see what's going to come up. What's happening next to group 1? Maybe it will give you an idea on how to celebrate even. Okay, so, all right, there we go. You see? And it will naturally turn upright if the message is meant to be upright. Queen of Swords, beautiful. King of, oh, okay, lovely. Can we fit one more? Yes, we can here. Yeah, beautiful. 2 of Wands. Okay, what's the underlying? Oh, okay. Okay. And solar eclipse. Beautiful. Okay, let's see. Put these. Okay, so like I said before, the solution to your problem is basically unwinding. The resolution is going to be available now. So I think this is why the celebration is coming forth. Okay, so it seems as though the next phase of your life, you have decided to already, basically, if you were in a situation that wasn't positive, you're going to cut your losses and just move on ahead. Even if the situation was a positive one, maybe you feel it's time to start a new chapter. And so you are going to walk towards a new direction of some sort. You are going to meet your counterpart. So if you are looking for a partner, you are going to find a counterpart, because if you take a look at this Queen of Swords, she's looking directly at the King of Swords and he's looking directly at her. Both of their swords are actually pointed up, which means that it is being used, which means your logic or your analytical ability or your problem solving ability is going to be like, it's going to be on show. And you will have somebody who is going to meet you on that same wavelength. So it's the meeting of minds. And from that, you are going to have a new solution. So this energy could relate to this particular episode, and hence you're celebrating. Or after you celebrate, you decide to embark on something new, and you're going to meet somebody who's like-minded in order for you to start some sort of new adventure in your life. Because this solar eclipse card is actually a very good time to plan for the next chapter if you have a very concrete goal. So for example, let's say right now you are single and you want to find a partner. This is the correct time to do it after this harvesting of abundance, or this harvesting abundance could be the result of this. If you want to meet new friends, same. Okay, so you are going to get in contact with somebody who is going to be like-minded towards you, because what has happened before, as you can see here, there were many kind of false starts. So it's not as though things were not, you know, horrible. It's just that the timing didn't seem to be correct. This person who is going to enter your life, however, is already in the cycle of completion, or has already done what he or she had intended to do. So you're meeting this person at a very opportune time. This person, this King of Swords energy. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a man. It's just that this energy. Both of these, like you and your counterpart, are very sharp people. So you're clever people. You are able to figure out innovative solutions. You've always got your thinking cap on. So you are equal in that way. However, maybe what preceded you, or this particular episode, was a little bit of confusion, or things were not they weren't finalized, they weren't completed yet. Because generally, generally this Queen of Pentacles, she's basically rolling in the dough. So basically she has grown her garden and everything is flourishing, and she's basically sitting pretty. However, it did come out in reverse, which means maybe the work that you put in, it didn't generate the return in order for you to take the next step. So that can mean many things. I mean, for example, if you have an investment portfolio, maybe it had just begun to become like positively geared, but there wasn't enough funds from the positive gearing in order for you to actually sit back and relax. It was still in the phase of accumulation, even though it had just become positive. Let's say you were into house investments. However, this person, your counterpart, on the other hand, had fully completed a cycle already. So this person likely has already, let's just get the example of the house investment. Let's say you had just begun the cycle of positively geared properties. Your counterpart would have been positively geared for, say, 1 or 2 years, for example. And so they're kind of like sitting on a more steady or even kind of keel. So what you wanted here, basically, to start a new relationship of some sort. It does kind of, it can appear to be like a romantic relationship. This is a card typical of it. However, before you decided to walk away, the new relationship could not start yet. And maybe you could not really start the relationship or walk away because this particular plan hadn't come to the point where you felt as though you could walk away. But now you can. It is a time of harvest and celebration. And hence you are going to meet your counterpart, who's a like-minded person who can share this journey with you. And basically, there is maybe one other thing you must do before this new action or this new direction in your life can really go through. Maybe you need to spend more time on thinking concretely about what it is that you would like to do. Not like the side marker, but the actual main point of it. So this is what I mean. Like, I have friends who, for example, they really want to find a partner. That's what they believe, that they want to find a partner. But when you press on further, when I ask them, why exactly do you want to find a partner? It's generally because they have too much quote unquote free time outside of work that they don't really know what to do with. So my suggestion is find that hobby or that passion first, because if you specifically go and look for love, generally that's going to be very hard to find. It's just like when somebody tells you, oh, just go and have fun. Like, what does that mean? That's actually really difficult to do. But generally you have fun while doing ordinary stuff and things become fun. I know that sounds a little crazy sometimes because people go, what do you mean? Like, this is what I mean specifically for me. Many moons ago, I went on a training course and it was part of my work. So I didn't think I would have a good time there. However, I met a bunch of people who were very silly as well. So during the training session, we actually did many games that, you know, games you play as a kid, but generally as an adult, you don't. For example, being blindfolded and then you feel things and then you try to say what it is. You don't really do those things as adults. But because we were in training, we were trying to get ourselves to think more creatively. We ended up playing silly games like that. And it turned out to be a blast. So that's what I mean. So if you go and search for like your new kind of a passion project, inadvertently, you're probably going to meet somebody who you're going to click with. And that's what I always advise my friends. So I think this particular card is going to work with this one. Why? This next direction will receive some delay because this is the go ahead, but since it's reversed, might be delayed simply because you haven't maybe concretely nailed the exact precise goal that you need to aspire to or that you want to achieve for the next chapter in your life. So like I was saying, maybe you're skirting the issue by thinking that you need a partner, but actually you need something to bring you passion. And then that partner will actually come along and join you. And naturally you have common ground because you both love that thing, for example. Okay, so what it looks like now is either you are very, very close to coming to celebration, or you are already in harvest celebration mode, which is most likely. And the next chapter in your life is meeting a counterpart that is already in fulfillment. So basically, you will be an addition to this person's life, not as like an extra appendage, not like anything that they must have because of a survival mechanism, but simply because they want to have you in their life, and they will it's basically a meeting of two equals, meeting of minds and a meeting of soul, because you both would have reached a certain phase in your life where you already feel complete by yourself. But to have another person in your life would just basically, it's icing on the cake, right? So it's extra little beautiful strawberries on that cake. Okay, so let's see, can we get a positive message? Can we get a positive message here? Let's see. Actually, do we even need a positive message? This was a heaps good reading, but let's just see what the universe has to say. Let's see. Or another possibility is, in the next phase of your life, the current thing that is holding you down, which you can't really see the solution of, during this time where you can craft the new direction in your life, this person might pop up and basically tell you, oh, that's the missing piece. Okay, so what advice can we give group 1, or what message of hope can we give group 1? There we go. Let's see. Let it go. You're being asked to let go of whatever pain and resentment you've been holding on to. It's hurting you, and you can't fully be present in your life if you're holding on to this negativity. Release it and be free. Beautiful. Oh, in the world of synchronicities, look at this. So as soon as she lets go of this bird naturally comes back to her. Isn't that wonderful? Okay, so thank you as always for allowing me to read for you, and all the luck in the world I send to you, group 1, because it just looks as though your life is just, you know, on an upward hill now. So things are yeah, now I don't mean that as in that way, not as in an upward battle. It's kind of like on the way to higher grounds, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so thank you, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye. Welcome back, group 2. So if you pick this card and this underlying card, what you need to do right now is to go through a cleansing ritual of some sort. So the juniper tree grows in quite a lot of places, and with many, I think especially Celtic traditions, it was used for some sort of like home cleansing or the cleansing of energy in preparation of better times ahead. So what the immediate action calls for is to have some sort of symbolic cleaning. It can be literal cleaning. For example, you could just clean your house, or you can clean out the wardrobe with the change of seasons. All those things are good to do. If your house is naturally quite clean, then you can just go through this kind of cleansing ritual. For example, going for a walk along the beach. You know how you can have a sand cleanse? You can have ocean breeze pass through you, and this acts like a spiritual cleansing mechanism. Because the underlying card here, the never-ending story. So if we look at this up, right, you can see this kind of elfin fairy type figure looking quite distressed. She's put all her heart into this hourglass, and the time is being funneled through. And she's put all the weight of her emotions in this kind of time frame that she's not willing to let go. But we all know the sands of times shift. And so this card is primarily talking about rehashing old stories which are no longer relevant, but maybe because it happened in a pinnacle moment in our life, we've identified that character or that character that we once were, and we're still wearing that character as part of our current persona. Maybe it is time to let go. Another issue could be taking on other people's emotions, like being especially empathetic, but that's a good thing. But sometimes if you take on too many people's worries and concerns, it can really drag you down. So it's also like an indicator to let go of other people's drama. So the mantra here is not my circus, not my monkeys. So it's a very important message, and I think combined together, destiny or life is preparing you for something new. So if you wanted to receive the new abundance that's going to come into your life, you have to let go of this current past that's anchoring you down in a chapter that is no longer relevant. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the tarot, and we're going to look at maybe what lies ahead of this, and let's see what we can glean from this particular action that you can do right now in order to anticipate what is ahead. So please tell me what lies ahead for group 2, because this looks like the end of a chapter. So when it's the end of a chapter, we've got something new to look forward to. So let's see. So the first thing that I need now is a significator card. So please let me get a significator card for group 2, please. Significator card for group 2. I don't know if you guys watched my dream analysis video back a while ago, but oh, 2 cards. Okay, sometimes when this happens we need to take, but don't worry about that train of thought that I had, because I thought it was going to take longer. Okay, let's see. Oh, solar eclipse. Oh, you were kidding me. These are the exact cards that came out in group 1. And I shuffled and reshuffled very well. Like, I made sure I tapped and reshuffled. Okay, so maybe group 1's reading is your next chapter. Because this is really strange, because these 2 cards were literally the beginning and end of group 1. The underlying energy and the significator, but this was in reversed. Okay, so yeah, this is, wow. It does feel like an energy of continuation of some sort. Okay, so let me see. Tell me more. I love the tarot. It tells me so many things. please tell me more about this story. Tell me more about group 2, please. Oh, there we go. Oh, okay. Can we fit one more? Yes, we can. Yep, can. Okay, so you do have big movement. And let's see this. Oh, yes, you've got a lot of big movement here. Okay, so if we take a look at this spread, what you're going to see here is this spread is tempered by 4 major arcanas and a time system. Okay, wait one second. Let's see. Okay, I'm just going to check when the next solar eclipse is going to come, like for the rest of this year. Please wait. Okay, this is going to be a very big energy movement. As an astrologer, September the 21st is going to be a big movement time. And I'm talking about global events. However, this is a personalized reading, so I'm not going to go on to the global impact, but 21st of September is a turning point, and there will be a partial solar eclipse then. So this could be something that is related to March the 29th. So maybe an event that began March the 29th, or the resolution is going to come on September the 21st. So this card actually can mean the actual time of the solar eclipse, but generally it means it is time to plan the next move. That's predominantly what this means. And you've got this coupled with this 8 of Swords, which means what's underlying this new move is the fact that you currently maybe feel a little bit tied up. You feel as though you can't really see the path forward, but it's not as if you don't have access to things which can release this block. It's just that you don't have access to it right now, or you cannot see the solution clearly at this stage. Now, what it looks like, what it has been occurring is that, oops, and there we go. This is the page, which means I need a message first. I keep on talking because I love talking, but we need to get a message first. Okay, so let's see what the Page of Wands has to say first before I ramble. You have, like I said before the small break, major arcana energy, which means that a lot of things are already in play. So what you are going to see is a rebalancing of energies. Basically, justice is going to be dispensed, and there is a time of adjustment. And this particular course, this is why most likely this is something that maybe started around the March time, because it has already been in play for a few months. When the major arcana appears a lot in the reading, it means that the action has already been set in motion. And so basically there aren't a lot of variables that can be moved anymore. So this is what I'm saying, that this thing has it's already in play, in motion. Okay, so dear Page of Wands, what can you tell me? What's your message? Okay, let's see, what is this? Page of Wands. Okay. Limitations, obstacles are not what they seem. You can get around them with some careful thought, or simply choose something better for you. Okay, there we go. Perfect. Okay, so right now, this thing has already started. So most likely it's been a few months. It will clear soon. like it looks like the other clearing chance would be September. It looks like during this particular phase in your life, there was something that you wanted to do, but this thing had strings attached. Because if you take a look at this bottom half, right, it is all looking towards this way. But this limitation is looking this way and the star card is looking this way. So the hope is the opposite of what you're doing. So a lot of the, what has happened before is there was a need to hold on to something in your life. And why you were holding on to that thing is because you genuinely thought you needed it. That's the story you had been telling yourself. And hence there is a reluctance to change the status quo simply because you believed there was no way out. The cleansing or the shift of mindset allows you to basically move ahead. Because once you do that, you will find that what you were giving out is going to be returned to you in some way, but it might not be a direct connection. But basically life is always going to be quote unquote fair in the end, like action, reaction, karma, whatever you want to call it. It is always working. And right now what you can't see is that things are being tempered, things are balancing, things are being adjusted, but a lot of it you can't see at the moment. So if you take a look at this, all these three cards here imply rebalancing of something. The Six of Pentacles, Justice, take a look at the scales here, and Temperance is basically adjusting. So even if you can't see the result right now, you have to understand things are already beginning to shift. And if you were shortchanged in some way in the past, things are going to come back to you. Okay, so I'll tell you one story that was just so strange. I went to a particular kind of resort, like recreation place, right? And I was using one of the lockers, and the lockers had a coin, right? That you needed to pay to get access to this particular locker. And at first I found change inside that locker, and I quickly put it on the kind of locker like complex, if you will, because it wasn't my coin. And and then I left it, and then I walked out, and then I went to a restaurant, and I sat down and I started to order my meal. But the exact amount that was left on the locker, as soon as I opened, like I pulled the restaurant chair out for myself to sit on, as soon as I pulled the chair out, that exact same change amount was on the chair. And that's when I realized, okay, maybe before I had given extra, like given a certain amount extra, and this was the universe's weird way of returning it back to me, because that was a time when I started really paying attention to symbols and making that spiritual awareness of spiritual messages. And it was just the universe telling me, no, things will work out. Things will rebalance themselves. So this is what I'm telling you. The same dynamic is happening now. So over here, what traditionally has happened to you, every time that you've been given something, maybe it has come with strings attached. And maybe that's what put the limitation on you to begin with, is that if you do accept help, then you have to give something that you weren't necessarily willing to give. So hence you've held on to resources, held on to a certain thing in your life that you believed that you should not give away, because once you lose it, then if you wanted it back again, people would impose conditions on you. And so in order to feel safe, you didn't let go of something. Now, this, like I was saying, it's going to be a rebalancing of energies. So what you did give out before is going to come back to you sans strings attached, with no strings attached. It's going to come with hope, as you can see this star card. Now, Let's see what's on the bottom of the deck, by the way. Okay, so you are worried. You definitely, this current situation that you are in, the current mindset, does cause you a lot of anxiety. So the feeling that you have, this old story that you've been rehashing, is very real in your mind. So it's constantly there. And to let go of this dialogue, this monologue that you have inside your head, right? To tell you that you should be careful, like you have to hold on to things, because once you lose it, you can't trust people to give it back to you. This story is going to shift. It's going to change, because something will come into your life to give you hope. Now, there is a King of Swords energy here, which underlies this justice. Now, the court cards in tarot are notoriously difficult to decipher. You can ask anybody who reads it. Many people will just say, oh, it's a person. Or people will say, oh, it's actually yourself. And it's true for both cases. If you do not have an outward like a situation that allows for someone to come in, it is you who will unravel the problem and you will find the solution. But if you are bogged down and you cannot find the solution, as life will have it, somebody will be made manifest in your path and they will come in and give you the direction. So the King of Swords energy is somebody who is very switched on, somebody who's very kind of clever, in charge of generally his analytical abilities. But now I'm going to find out whether this is a person or whether this is yourself. Okay, so please bear with me. Let me see. So please tell me, is this King of Swords for group 2, is this going to be someone who's coming into their world, or is this group 2 themselves who finds the solution? Okay, so let's see, King of Swords, where are you? So yeah, I just figured this recently. I might as well just, find this rather than take a guess. Is this a person, or is this group 2 themselves? Okay. This is very likely a person who you already are connected to. So this came in your relationships group. So it is somebody who you are going to form a bond that's going to dispense this justice and give you hope. So someone is coming your way to release this particular story that you have. This person is probably from your past and is somehow connected, but not directly. Like, what caused this holding on to, believing that you can't let go? This person has probably already been through this particular cycle with you, but not directly involved. And so now this time, this person, this King of Swords energy that is coming, is going to help you get the justice that you deserve by maybe doing something, or maybe just giving you a different viewpoint so you can release this particular story that you've held on for quite some time. Okay. All right, let me... Okay, let me see. It looks as though there is some sort of shadow here. Okay, it does look like there's some sort of shadow here. So let me see. Is there a shadow issue here in group 2? Is there a shadow issue here for group 2? No, didn't want to come out. Is there a shadow issue? Okay. Cradle by the sky and misted promenade. Oh, okay. This is going to take a while to unpack. Okay, very simply, maybe you have walked alone a particular path for quite some time. And it was never really so clear where you were going. But you believe that life, in its infinite wisdom, has a path for you to travel anyway. So it doesn't really matter so much that you didn't have a clear direction. And however, once you don't have a very, very clear direction, like they say, if you don't know where you're going, then anywhere will do. Maybe you got caught up in this particular dynamic in which you found out that, yeah, there is a price to pay, and hence it led you to having this particular belief in your life that you do have to preserve what you already have, because if you do ask for help, then there are many strings which become attached. I think this next energy that's going to come into your life is a firm belief that it doesn't matter how strange or how awkward the situation is, that you are going to get out of this. So basically, divine or destiny has your back. And if you take a look at her, she's flipping from this jetty formation, like up in the sky, and she feels secure. Even though she's not dressed for the occasion, even though there's no safety net really, but she believes that she will not basically meet her end this way, and that this is just like a new way of looking at the world. To get this different perspective, she has to be prepared to leave this ground of safety in order for her to see. And it's even stranger here that sometimes if you look at things this way, right, it's even difficult to discern which one is the sky and which one is the kind of water if you take a look at this card, simply because of the tone of this picture. But it just goes to show that life in all its infinite wisdom, it teaches us a continuous lesson. And what was once seen to be a very logical thing to do can end up being a blockage in our life later on. And all that means is that it's time for a switcheroo. Like, it's just time to switch the way that we think, because it's a new lesson that we are about to embark on. And I think that's what is ahead. Okay, so that's all I have for you today. Thank you, as always, for allowing me to read for you, and I hope everything turns out smashing, because I do believe that we are all here to have a certain experience, and it's not meant to pull us down. It is meant to just give us a different perspective and to allow us to evolve. So best of luck, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye. Welcome back, group 3. So if you pick this poppy card and this co-create card, what you must do now is, I think from my point of view, get some canvas, get a piece of paper, get some crayons, get some pencils, anything, because it is the revival of creativity. So without looking further in the tarot, I don't know what this is going to relate to in specific, but something that you have already left in the past is coming back. So there's a renaissance, a resurgence, if you will. This can mean creative projects which you have maybe reached a certain blockage and you go, I can't do this anymore, so I'm just gonna leave it. And so you're going to get a creative insight that's going to spark this new kind of growth period. If you are a writer, your writer's block is going to receive some sort of breakthrough. If you have had an on-off relationship before, and you're thinking about this person very likely is going to contact you out of the blue and come back. So basically, it is a revival of some sort, and it will be sparked off by this creative inspiration that's just going to like come out of the blue. So I'm actually quite excited for this particular energy that's coming through with these two cards. So I'm actually very excited to see how the tarot goes. Wait, let me just move this cord because, sorry, I might accidentally, trip it. Okay, so now let's see what the tarot is going to tell us. So how is this inspiration going to hit, or what will eventuate from this inspiration that group 3 is going to get, and for them to exercise this to have some sort of new chapter, new success. And these cards are very good, actually. They actually herald a new successful period in your life through this creative inspiration or this resurgence. So yeah, it's interesting. Let's go. Please give me a significator for group 3. Significator for group 3. Oh, that was interesting. The way that it fell out was interesting, wasn't it? Are you kidding me? Victory. Okay, victory. Okay, let's see victory where. Okay, so like I said, the possibilities are quite numerous here because we don't know which area in your life this is going to hit. This can even be financial, So, for example, you bought some stocks, like 2 years ago, and things were tanking, and you go, I'm not even going to look at my portfolio anymore. And then you maybe check, and suddenly you'll go, oh my lord, that's like 200% return now. So we don't know, but something definitely, a blast from the past. Okay, it's going to be a blast from the past. Okay, so 6 of Wands, in which area of your life? Six of Wands. Okay, where are you? Six of Wands. Ooh, and the plot thickens. Ooh. Okay. Okay, 6 of Wands. There we go. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to get a title for your story. Okay. So it does look like it is 2 main possibilities here. It is either going to be a revival of some sort regarding your career, or maybe like a family issue, but it seems more like a career thing. Okay, so it looks like what preceded it before is some sort of misunderstanding, or you felt as though you were misunderstood, and there was no amount of explanation or things that you could do or say that could really clarify your intention at that time. And so it became a game of maybe trying to get your point across to be convincing, rather than actually doing like the thing that you wanted. Okay, I'll explain that just a little bit more. And this particular phase that you are going through is the resurrection of this particular project. which is going to give you definitely like a new impetus in life to charge forth and move ahead. So it's you're going to rediscover your passion for this. Now, what I mean by this thing is, of course, it's not as drastic as this, okay? But let's just say it's something like a Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni like saga, right? So originally, the movie of It Ends With Us was going to be something that was going to be kind of like a monumental movie talking about abuse, domestic violence, which is a very like pertinent issue in our society right now. But then that got embroiled in all the back and forth, the controversy of the personalities of the main actors. And so if you imagine something like that, what you're going to see here now is akin to the actual movie taking off, where people forget about the controversy and it's just the movie itself that becomes the resounding success, sans drama. And that gives revival to maybe the actors getting kind of like an image overhaul or rebranding themselves, because people drop that negative stigma or association and now they're focused on what that original project was intended for. So that's what I mean by this particular sequence. So that's the kind of heading, if you will, of your reading today. Okay, so back from the depths of confusion and into a new lease of life, or kind of, revival of an energy. So this looks pretty exciting. Okay, so now let's get the, what shall we get here? We don't need to look back at the story because it's already here. Let's take a look at this new Ace of Cups, okay? Let's take a look at where this is going. What are you co-creating with the universe to ensure this new success that's coming through in your life? Okay, 2 cards fell out. Oh, wow, okay. Wow, just wow. Oh, it's good times ahead. It really is good times ahead. Oh, yeah, wonderful. Okay, obviously, you've got the beginning and the end here, and it's already in play. It's already in play, okay? Like I said before, maybe this did involve some sort of drama in the beginning. The luck of that particular project finally has turned. So what you're getting now is this particular transitionary phase here. The luck has definitely turned, and the project that you started but then left for a while is growing once again, because you can see from this Empress card. So whenever you get the Empress card, when it's connected to something like this, you know that it's a bonanza of a crop being like made, right? The seeds are sowed, and it's basically you're moving on towards the harvest season. You'll definitely continue with the hard work. And as you can see here, most of it is already in line, right? So they are already aligned in. Now, this is a traditional kind of water sign as well. So it means the emotions are kind of balanced. And this time, this final pentacle that this little rabbit is making, as you can see, it's a whopping big pentacle. So it's magnus opus. This is going to be a great work, at least in your like milestones in life. This is going to be something that is going to be very like special in your own personal story, and you're going to get help from here. So this final stage, this revival, you're actually going to get help from somebody who will either join the project, join your team, and help you through this phase where you are you are working hard, but someone's joining. Because if you take a look at the rabbit looking this way, and now the person that's coming in to dispense help is looking this way, so you're going to meet somebody who's going to come in and help you. Ditto with the growth project. The Empress is looking this way, the helper is looking this way. So there is going to be an alignment. There's going to be an energy. And maybe this particular help, like I said, is a blast from the past. And here, the judgment, it has taken some time. Okay, so time is definitely like a factor here. And like I said before, it's a like maybe on-off thing. But now, finally, the results are definitely coming in, and the results are positive because it's a revival of the passion that you're going to have for this project and maybe even for life generally. Now, I'm curious. Let's take a look. Now, this is something that I'm going to do. Now, I'm going to start layering this, okay? This is something that I've recently discovered that I really like doing, is layering tarot reading. I love layering now. So now I'm going to see further on. So this is the immediate future, okay? So what's going to happen is you're going to get a streak, a sudden hit of inspiration, and this is going to propel a project that was left or defunct or something, an aspect maybe of your career. And but now that's going to be revived. So, and the short term is someone's going to come in to help you. You're going to be hard at work, and things are going to grow again from that abandoned maybe mission or project. Okay, so longer term future, where is this going? So longer term future for group 3, where is this going? Where is this project going? Oh, okay. Wow, what's here? Oh, was I wrong about this being career? Okay, this is strange because these are all... Oh, okay. So remember I said it could be career or home life, and then I picked career because I didn't see any, but just the beginning here, the cups energy. But now looking at part 2, it could be a home thing. It could be a family thing. It could be a creation of a family thing. Okay. Okay, now I'm getting really excited. Just wait. Let me see. Okay, wait. Okay, let me get an oracle thing here. Now this puts a twist. I mean, I can see what's going on here too, but let me just check if my intuition is correct or not, because it looks like it's a career thing that's going to end up being a family thing. That's what it looks like long term. Okay, so please tell me about this. What is this? What is this long term energy? What's part 2? Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited for you. Okay. Can you tell me more about the longer term projection of group 3? What advice? Where are they going with this? What is going on with this? No, doesn't want to talk to me. Okay, no, but I want to get an answer for you. Please wait. Let me move on to another deck. Okay. Oh, I'm excited. Okay, wait. Okay, so please tell me what is going to be the longer term future for group 3 in regards to this inspiration. What's the longer term? What is the longer term projection here? Oh, can I get a hint, please? Can I get a hint, please? I think this is, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, but I just want to make sure. Okay, can we get some guidance? Okay, guidance, please for group 3. Group 3 guidance, please. Oh, okay. It is relationships. Okay, wait. Relationships, business partners, office love affairs, and communication with co-workers are highlighted now. Make choices with extreme... Oh, man. Okay. Alrighty. It is. It just confirms that. Okay, so like I said, part 1 still remains true. It is something connected to your work at the current situation, where there's going to be revival of a project, of a particular section, team, department, blah blah blah. However, in the longer term future, there is an element of caution here. Why I say caution is because the Lover's card, I don't need to explain that. I mean, the 4 of Wands I do need to explain, but even then you can see the picture here. Upright, it's just falling in love. And also the 4 of Wands is creating an institution or home or marriage or contract of something while reconciling differences. And there is a little bit of a difference here because the Lover's card traditionally implies the beginning of a relationship. So the Ace of Cards continued is here. And falling in love is easy. We all know that. Like, it's just that spark, you know, the tap on the shoulder and bam, you already know. That's not difficult. What's difficult, basically, are long-term relationships where once you pass that kind of honeymoon period where you think basically the sun shines from this person's, usually not shown region, then you kind of come down to earth again, and the realities of cohabitation and really sustaining a relationship long-term begin to be more challenging. Okay, so the 4 of Wands is basically laying down roots, considering, or in spite of there being differences, basically ironing out the differences. So it's still love, but it's a little bit different. However, these two are reverse. And if we take a look at this particular card, the oracle that came out, it does talk about office romance, business romance. So my guess is working on this project long term, maybe you're going to get ample opportunities to be together, to work together with someone, and hence the feelings slowly brew, you know, like the making of very delicious good wine. It takes some time before the fermentation. Is that even a good word to use when we talk about love? Fermenting? Yeah, but yeah, it takes a while for the love to kind of like ferment. And even when it does, combining business with work could be a little bit, you know, I mean, I'm not even talking about taboo. I'm just talking about the realities of combining business with love, and then, you know, the conflicts. Where does that end? Do we take it home? Do we leave it at the office? And those human feelings which come with it. But over here, look at this card. It's a 10 of Cups. This is the happily ever after. This is mum, dad with ducklings, you know, and even though there are differences, it doesn't like infringe upon the ability for the relationship to succeed. So my guess is, because the fundamentals of this reading is a spark of inspiration leads to great success. And so I think this longer term spread would actually imply not only success in career, but also success in the matrimonial, emotional, love realm, which is just fantastic. I mean, you can't get any better than that. So yeah, there you go. Congratulations. Everything's coming up poppies. Okay, as always, thank you very much for allowing me to read for you, and I look forward to seeing you again. And just have a wonderful day. Just kick back and, you know, break open the champers or whatever. You've got really great things coming up. Enjoy. Bye.